Student, today I will explain you electrolysis. Electrolysis is a very important reaction of electrochemistry. In the beginning I told you that in electrochemistry we study two types of reaction. One is electrochemical reaction and second is electrolysis. So today I will explain you electrolysis. According to definition, electrolysis is a decomposition reaction of an electrolyte which occur on passing electric current. Means if we pass electric current in the aqueous solution of electrolyte or in the molten state of electrolyte, then decomposition reaction takes place. This decomposition of electrolyte by passing electric current is called electrolysis. This I will explain you by some example. For example, electrolysis of molten NaCl. Electrolysis of molten NaCl. This is a very simple example of electrolysis. In case of molten NaCl, there is only two ions. In case we take the example molten NaCl, so in the molten state there is only one Na ion and another is Cl ion. So sodium ion and Cl ion, there is no water molecule because it is molten state. So at cathode, in electrolysis at cathode, cation will move and discharge. So here cation is sodium. So sodium will move towards the cathode and it undergo reduction, because in cathode, at cathode reduction takes place both in electrolysis as well as in electrochemical cell. In electrochemical cell reduction takes place, but in electrolysis also reduction takes place. But difference is, in electrolysis cathode is negatively charged, while in electrochemical cell cathode is positively charged. This is the difference. But in both the cases, this reduction takes place. Sodium ion undergo reduction and it converts to sodium metal. So means in molten NaCl, at cathode sodium metal get discharged, sodium metal be obtained. At anode, because in electrolysis anode is positively charged, it is positive charge, that's why negative ion move towards anode, chloride ion. So at anode oxidation takes place, this chloride undergo oxidation, so chlorine gas will release. So in case of molten NaCl, at cathode sodium metal will discharge, at anode chlorine gas will release. This is the example of molten NaCl. Now suppose if we take the example of aqueous NaCl. In case of aqueous NaCl, in case of molten, we take aqueous NaCl. Aqueous NaCl, so here we write Aq, here we write NaAq, Cl aqueous. Now what is the difference here? At cathode there are two ions. One is sodium ion and another is H ion of water. Because when we dissolve NaCl in water, then water will also dissociate slightly. So H ion of water, or you can simply water molecule. Water molecule also move towards cathode and also undergo reduction. When water molecule undergo reduction, it will give OH ion plus hydrogen gas. OH ion and hydrogen gas. To balance it, 2H2 molecule, 2 OH ion, 2 electron, so the hydrogen gas. Now sodium aqueous. This is sodium aqueous. Due to the sodium aqueous, sodium ion and aqueous, so water molecule, both reaction will take place at cathode. Now we have to find out which reaction take place exactly at the cathode. for that, because you know at cathode reduction take place, so that reaction will take place whose reduction potential is more. For sodium, E0 reduction potential is minus 2.71 volt. For sodium, E0 reduction potential is minus 2.71 volt, and for water molecule, E0 reduction potential is minus 0.83 volt. If suppose we take water, if suppose we take simple HI, then it is 0. In both cases, E0 reduction potential of water is more, or E0 reduction potential of HI is more. That's why over cathode reduction of water take place. So hydrogen gas will release. This reaction will take place at the cathode, not sodium ion. That's why from aqueous NaCl solution we cannot get sodium metal. Otherwise sodium metal become very cheap, because NaCl is very cheap substance, not costly substance. So we can do the electrolysis from aqueous NaCl. So we can get NaCl from, we can get sodium metal. No, we cannot get sodium metal from NaCl aqueous. We can get sodium metal from molten NaCl. That's why sodium metal is costly metal. Now at anode, chlorine and aqueous, Cl minus aqueous. At anode oxidation take place. So Cl2 gas will release, and anode also water molecule will undergo H2O. Here O2 plus Cl2 electron, the oxidation take place, so 2 electron release. In case of water, O2 plus OH minus. O2 plus H plus 4H, 4 electron. So now you can see what is the E0 potential value of chlorine here. E0 value of chlorine 1.36 volt. E0, this is E0 oxidation potential value. This is E0 oxidation potential value. Similarly, E0 oxidation potential value of water is 1.23. Both are in minus. So now you can see which has more value. E0 oxidation potential of water is minus 1.23. Minus 1.23 value is more as compared to minus 1.36, because E0 oxidation potential of water is more. That's why water undergo oxidation. So at anode oxygen will release. So if you do the electrolysis of aqueous NaCl, then at anode oxygen gas will release, and at cathode hydrogen gas will release. So this is the very simple funda. At cathode, which ion will discharge? Whose oxidation potential is, at cathode, which ion will discharge? Whose reduction potential is more? And at anode, which ion will discharge? Whose oxidation potential is more? Because at anode oxidation takes place, at cathode reduction takes place. So at cathode, that ion will discharge which has more value of reduction potential, and at anode, which ion, that ion will discharge whose oxidation potential is more. So this is the concept of electrolysis by two examples. Now we study Faraday law of electrolysis. This is very important. Faraday law of electrolysis. We have Faraday, Michael Faraday, a scientist named Michael Faraday, who studied about the electrolysis, and he set up a quantitative relation of electrolysis. And when he studied quantitative relation of electrolysis, then he formulated two laws called law of electrolysis. So that is number one. First law of electrolysis. First law of electrolysis of Faraday. First law. You can also call Faraday. First law of electrolysis. First law of electrolysis. Faraday first law of electrolysis. Faraday first law of electrolysis. Faraday first law of electrolysis. According to Faraday first law of electrolysis, the mass of substance discharged at the respective electrode is directly proportional to the quantity of electricity passed through electrolytic solution. Understand? The mass discharged at the respective electrode, whether it is cathode or anode, that mass is related, or you can say that mass directly proportional to the electricity passed through electrolytic solution. So this Faraday law can be formulated. If suppose we pass Q Coulomb charge, then mass liberated at the cathode or anode and is directly proportional to Q. Mass directly proportional to Q means Q Coulomb charge. So M equal to Z2, where Z is electrochemical equivalent weight, that is the proportionality constant. So Z is electrochemical equivalent weight, M is the mass, and Q is the Coulomb quantity of charge in Coulomb. So you can write here M is the mass of substance liberated at electrode. Liberated at electrodes. And Z is electrochemical equivalent. Electrochemical equivalent weight. Z is electrochemical equivalent weight and Q is charge in Coulomb. Charge in Coulomb. See, and you know Q equal to IT. So M equal to ZIT. So ZIT, I means current. I क्या? I is current in ampere. Current in ampere. T is time in second. Here very important, time always be taken in second. Suppose we pass Q Coulomb charge or we pass 5 ampere current for 10 seconds, then what is the quantity Q Coulomb charge? Q equal to 5 ampere current into 10 seconds equal to 50 Coulomb charge. Correct? So this 50 Coulomb charge will pass through any electrolytic solution, and what mass will discharge at the electrode? A very simple example I will explain you. Write the problem. Here Z, definition of first write Z value. What is Z? As you know, M equal to ZIT. If suppose we pass 1 ampere current for 1 second, then M equal to Z. Condition क्या है? I equal to 1 ampere and T equal to 1 second. I equal to 1 ampere, T equal to 1 second, then mass equal to Z. So electrochemical equivalent weight of a substance is that mass of the substance which deposit or which liberate at the electrode when 1 ampere current is passed for 1 second. When 1 ampere current is passed for 1 second. Correct? So this is the electrochemical equivalent weight. What is this? Electrochemical equivalent weight. Now second law of thermodynamics, second law of electrolysis, Faraday's second law. Second law of electrolysis, here you can also write Faraday's second law. Faraday's second law of electrolysis, if more than one electrolytic cells क्या होते हैं? The cell in which electrolysis is carried out. So if suppose we take more than one electrolytic cell and we pass same quantity of charge, the Q equal to constant, then masses of substance which liberated at the respective electrode in different electrolytic solution or in the ratio of their equivalent weight. Again we will say, if suppose Q quantity of charge in coulomb is passed in different electrolytic cell which are connected in series, then different masses of electrolyte liberated at the respective electrode or in the ratio of their equivalent weight. For example, suppose we take two electrolytic solution, a two electrolytic cell. In one cell, first electrolytic cell, and second electrolytic cell, E cell is short में, first electrolytic cell and second electrolytic cell. First electrolytic cell consists zinc sulfate solution and zinc electrode. Second electrolytic cell consists copper sulfate solution and copper electrode. Correct? So on passing Q quantity charge in coulomb, then weight of copper deposit upon weight of zinc equal to equivalent weight of copper upon equivalent weight of zinc. Equivalent weight of copper upon equivalent weight of zinc. So this is very simple. You can also write it like this. Another way. W copper upon equivalent weight of copper equal to W zinc upon equivalent weight of zinc. You can also write this way. So both are the simple formula. Or if suppose in place of zinc there is a silver metal silver nitrate solution, AgNO3 and silver rod. So here we write in place of zinc we write silver, ठीक है ना, and weight of equivalent weight of silver. So this way we can change the formula. Whatever the electrolytic cell, we can take this relation. But in this, for second law, the net quantity of charge should be constant. So here are the two laws of electrolysis. Faraday first law of electrolysis and Faraday second law of electrolysis. So today you study about the Faraday law. My next video will be on the topic some important concept of electrolysis. Thank you, children.